Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nintendo Expression Pass here on Boss Push Network. I'm your host and Enlightened Insider ADB. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Courty Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello.
And we got the talented TikToker herself, Mr. Courtney Woods. Hello.
Hi.
We're all here.
Yes, we all are here.
One big happy family.
Who's happy?
Yes.
Oh,
I
never mind.
am.
We're not. Never mind. Not for mission.
Let's just say we are getting ready for our game of the year. Not discussion. We're still trying to figure out, like, personally, what we all are getting ready to put on this, because it is November and we only got one more month. So, you know, there might be an indie direct, there might be a reveal at the Game Awards, there might be a secret game that Nintendo hasn't revealed yet that we just don't know, that may be coming out at the end of the year. So just to let everybody know, we'll be getting in that discussion in the future. But before we continue on, Corey, we have some Patreons to shout out, so let's shout them out.
You're right. Yeah, we do have patrons to shout out. Remember, if you want to support this show, you can head over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork, where you can support Nintendo Power Block as well as our other shows here. $1 gets you early access to 5 shows. The $5 tier grants you early access plus a Patreon producer tier. What does that mean? It means we get to shout your name out on this segment right here, right now. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode are Adrian Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian Skipper, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons, and I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just reward you with a few perks if you support us. If you are a free listener, remember to leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, leave a comment, tell your friends, post it on your MySpace page. I don't care. MySpace,
Wow.
man.
MySpace.
Man, I tried to look for my
one.
MySpace profile the other day just because, and I couldn't find it, so it must have been deactivated. To be fair, it's been like, I don't know, almost 20 years, but it's fine.
I think when I started social media, it was Facebook, and that was when I was at JCPenney Outlet in Kearney, Illinois. And I remember, half of the people who worked with me were on Facebook, and so we were just all talking. Of course, like I said, everybody knew the story. Met Corey through Facebook.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Hey!
It's not nice.
I'm just kidding. You're my best friend right now on this
He's just
call.
mad that you're not his neighbor.
Won't you be
That's all it is.
my neighbor?
I asked Corey what if I ever did move to Ohio.
I told you.
Close soon.
Sleepovers every night? I could see it. Matching pajamas, popcorn, watching football or baseball games, or playing Zelda or
Something.
Smash Bros. But matching pajamas, definitely see it.
Great. Can't wait.
So fun.
Oh, but yeah.
I'm just kidding, Ed. There's plenty of places 2, 3, 4, 5 hours from here.
Oh wow!
I'm just kidding. There's places all over the place. Why not?
Well, so I was talking to Eric, Corey, and Courtney. I seen this post, like this discussion on Twitter, from somebody that I'm following, and they made the statement saying that Sony offers experiences while Microsoft and Nintendo offer games, and it created a good discussion among people who were replying to this person, and it kind of got me thinking about Nintendo themselves. Do they offer experiences? Do they offer games? And do the statement that the person made with Sony just offering like more than games, but experiences, like is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because experiences is, in the game can happen on any platform, PC, DS, heck, it could happen on a Tiger handheld back in the day. It's wherever you game at, there is always going to be experience. Um, but I wonder is that a good thing or a bad thing because experiences could always vary, and I think as gamers we do have experience, we want it to make it memorable. Than just having other experience and stuff.
For
Yeah.
Um,
sure.
so
I mean,
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I guess it just depends on what you consider an experience versus a game, you know? Because like Nintendo offers like I don't know, Nintendo Switch Sports and Wii Fit and what's this one with the Ring Fit Adventure, and it's like,
Mhm.
well, those are technically experiences. They're not. I mean, they're games, sure, but they're definitely experiences, right? Especially during the Wii era. Um, what? I mean, no offense to PlayStation, but what is their quote unquote experience that you know, 40% of your player base is still playing the PS4 version of Destiny on your PS5 because nobody knows how to download it correctly. That's an experience. By the way, true fact, just recorded Tower Casuals and we talked about that. So, Bungie has to go out of their way to try to figure out how to make it easier for people to recognize the difference between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 versions of Destiny 2 because
Mhm.
PlayStation doesn't do that for you like Xbox does. Not that I'm defending Xbox or anything because they don't really offer either at this point. But you know,
Yeah, I feel like they used to like back in early 2010-ish, but nowadays, no. I feel like everyone's pretty much all the same. Oh, you're gonna post this? Well, we're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna do this? We'll give us 2 weeks, we'll do the same thing. Like it's all mediocre. No one's added pizzazz to anything,
Mhm.
you know?
Well, I think that like with Nintendo offering games, um, I think that those games are always continually being talked about in this
Oh, for sure.
era, because I think for someone who like me who experienced games across all platforms and everything, I think when it comes to Nintendo, I I get more memorable experiences. I get those games that I and people see me on social media act a fool. How I talk about Paper Mario the Origami King, how I'll talk about Gree, or how I'll talk about Yoshi's Crafted World, Kirby's Epic Yarn. Like the key platforms. But then I'm seeing everybody talk about Fire Emblem, and I'm just like, man, Fire Emblem Three Houses. Everybody's talking about a series that used to get ignored until like Awakening happened. It was a very niche game and everything. And it's just like I think Nintendo offers memorable experiences with their games.
For
You
sure.
know, and I kind of feel like when like if people feel like Sony is offering experiences, I'm like, are they memorable? Because you can't. To me personally, and this is just a me thing. This is my opinion about it. You just can't offer experiences, and then if I go into GameStop, all of those experiences are in the used bin. Like if you got 20 copies or more of the same game in the used bin, that's not an experience or
Hmm.
anything. That's more of a game. Because if you're gonna say that it offers an experience, you're going to keep that game.
Yeah.
We know that if you get rid of a Nintendo game, good luck trying to get it back.
Yeah, because it's not gonna be in that bin. That is for sure.
Right. And I just feel like, and this is don't want to dig against Microsoft. I don't want to dig against Sony or anything, but I feel like with Nintendo, they just offer more than that experience. We're seeing how I guess getting the experience than just getting
Uh-oh. Ed.
the game.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I'm here.
You really need
There
to
you
get
are.
this fixed, dude. This is like
I know. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm trying to save up and get the thing that I need so you can do Zencaster. Okay.
Brah.
But but as I was saying, um I think when Nintendo, if people feel like Nintendo just offer games, you get so much out of it because I still feel like you get a lot of cosplay from games. You still get a lot of uh compositions like covers and stuff that people are doing and everything with a rock cover or a band cover, or like they'll take some kind of song and make it into the jazz thing. Like I think so many people take so much out of Nintendo games and do stuff with them that it becomes more than just a game. And I don't see the same thing happening with Sony games or Microsoft games. And I'm
Hmm.
not like I said, I'm not trying to knock them, but I think you just sometimes when it comes to Nintendo, you get more out of it.
I mean,
I get that.
I think people do a lot with other systems too. I think it just depends on which ecosystem you're dedicated to or
Hmm.
which fan base you enjoy the most or, something like that. Because I mean, PlayStation arguably has a very similar fan base in terms of fandom and defensiveness as Nintendo, I would argue. Um, you know, just because they've been around long enough now that they have that nostalgia and that love and all that, I just
Yes.
I think I think sometimes I I don't know. I just don't like how they're kind of using these words. They're like, at the end of the day, it's all video games, right? We're all here to have fun, and it just depends on what you want to play to have fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't think Sony necessarily. I mean, unless you want to call VR an experience, also, right? But um, again, that's like a preference thing, I guess.
Well, I kind of wonder is the presentation the experience when it comes to Sony games, like because of a lot of
You mean like a
cutscenes
cinematic
and
experience? I mean, that's definitely
yeah.
something that Nintendo doesn't have,
Oh,
for sure.
especially with 4K and all the other ambiances that they have.
Yeah, I would argue I would argue that Nintendo doesn't have anything remotely as cinematic as something that uh PlayStation offers, but also like Sony doesn't really have their Mario or Breath of the Wild, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it's if you're talking about experience, it's a different experience, right? You're going to Sony for like a story-driven cinematic experience. You're going to Xbox for, the best online experience. You're going to Nintendo for your nostalgia and your gameplay based games like Mario and Zelda, right? And I think that's why most of us own at least two, if not all three consoles. Or, we play a lot of games. A lot of people play games on PC also, right? Like it's just like
Hmm.
you want different experiences, and sometimes like I spend a lot of time on my Switch, but I also play a lot of Destiny. So like you don't get that Destiny experience on Nintendo Switch, right? I play it on Xbox because they have the best online experience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I want a mature story driven game, most of the time I'm going to go to PlayStation because that's what they specialize in. If I want something to get lost in and immersed in, and like is fun and something I don't really have to like pay attention is the wrong word, but like really like put a lot of emotional effort into. Nintendo's usually the company I go to, right? I mean, there's some exception to that, right? Like Zelda is a big emotional investment for me, especially with Breath of the Wild kind of changing the way they're doing things with Zelda. Metroid Dread was another really kind of cool emotional experience in a different way, but they're not doing the same. You cannot compare something like God of War or Horizon to anything that Nintendo does, right? Because they're just so different. Whether you prefer one or the other, that's a different story completely. But they're not comparable really, except for the fact that you use a controller to play the games, right? I mean,
Right.
so
I think, Courtney, I think like because we talked about Life is Strange too and
Yeah.
everything, and um, we we was and people will see that that talked about coming soon, um. But we all experienced that game in a different way, and the way that we experienced Talk to Walk, the way we experienced Life is Strange 2 is by our choices that we made,
For sure.
and I think that kind of experience, of course, Nintendo doesn't have anything like that or stuff, but I think when you start playing games with more choices or you know you want to see what if you make this bad choice, what did it lead up into? I think you get a whole different experience, and sometimes the experience could change depending on if you want to replay the game and make different choices.
Yeah. Or
yeah,
some of them just give you the option to automatically make those choices. You just got to
Hmm.
find the right games.
Yeah,
yeah,
you know, um, and I think Nintendo is just I think they don't worry about experiences or worry about being a game. I think they just like we want you guys just to have fun, you know.
Right. And have
You-
like the real life experience instead.
yeah,
right? Because back in the day, a lot of experiences for gamers was like the midnight release of a game.
yeah.
Yes.
I
You
mean, that's
know.
something that I kind of miss. I mean, like I remember when Halo 3 or Gears of War or Gears 2 or Modern Warfare, like all those big huge midnight launches were like really
Hmm.
special, especially Halo 3, man. Halo 3's midnight launch is something I will never forget. Like the Call of Duty one, whatever, it was fine. I went with some friends because they were all getting it, and like, sorry, I like to play games with my friends, so I got Call of Duty. Uh, but like Halo 3, man, that was an experience of like there are literally hundreds of people in this parking lot waiting for Halo 3 to come out. Hundreds of
Yeah.
people. And like we were all like exchanging like gamer tags and like, you know, talking about, just everything and which editions we were getting. And I mean, I still have my Master Chief helmet. It's sitting on the shelf over there. It's just like there's something incredible about that midnight launch that nobody really gets anymore because of digital releases, or the games people are excited for are free to play or digital only, or they'll release a physical version with some sort of skin in it, right? Like
Hmm.
it's just not the same, and I mean, nobody's gonna go to a midnight launch for a Nintendo game. I mean, maybe Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like
Maybe.
that might get some draw for a midnight release, but like most people are probably gonna buy it digitally, and the people that get it physically, like I ordered mine on Amazon, and it'll be here, and like it'll be in my mailbox when I get home from work that day, So I mean,
Which people, which people still, pre-order games. I still pre-order games. Everybody hear about my Best Buy adventures that, I go in and it saves me the time looking for it or getting an associate to open it. I could walk in, show my information, get my game, and then grab my snacks and be like, okay, I can play this game, do the updates and whatever and stuff.
Get
I
my
know for me,
snacks.
I know for me, my working at Toys R Us, I've never did a midnight release, so that was literally
Oh,
my
because Toys R Us didn't do
experience.
midnight releases, did they?
Yeah, for a while they did it, but like Call of Duty changed that. I think Modern Warfare 3 changed it. Because they that's when we started doing it for that game. Um, and then Star Wars, when before the movie came out, when the toys were coming out, we would get to work at like 9 and everything, plan what we're doing and stuff, and literally for 2 hours get everything set up for the release and everything. And it was just so exciting because I'm like, yeah, it's these managers and your other teammates and everybody running back and forth, and it's you just want to have everything ready. So the rush is having stuff ready to go for people to come in. And now it depends on how many people are going to hit the store and or not, because the midnight release sometimes could only be like 8 people, and that's
Yeah.
it for the rest of the night. You know, or it could
Yeah.
be 20 plus some people and stuff. Uh, you know, everything like I definitely remember, even though this is not a midnight release, when the Switch came out.
Mm-hmm. I took off work that
And
day to go stand in line. I mean, I pre-ordered it, but like I still went, you know, because
mhm.
you know, GameStop, they'll tell you that it's there, and then you get there, and it's like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Blah blah.
Sorry.
What's a Nintendo? Blah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I was there
uh
for the release. It was not fun.
I
Had to work
I
that shift.
I had to work it. Yeah, when it came out,
Yeah.
I had to work it and get the games and everything. And it was kind of exciting because it's just like I I know about the Switch. I'm on a podcast like Nintendo Power Block, like me and Corey's talking about it. And then to get the actual product and have to sell it and everything, and just see how gamers react and everything and their
Right.
experience within the stuff. Because a lot of people just like a lot of people were having the hope that the Switch was going to fail because it didn't have the games that people wanted. But that kind of changed that first week that the system came out. Because when
Uh-uh.
people the reviews for Breath of the Wild. Oh.
Yeah. I don't. I think it changed. I think it took a longer than a week to change. I think it probably took like 6 months. But like, Nintendo did the smart thing of like they had a new first party release like every 6 weeks, and they filled the
Mm-hmm.
gaps between new experiences with ports with third party partnerships, right? Like you look at the major third party partnerships, you look at Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle with Ubisoft, you look at Fire Emblem Warriors with Koei Tecmo, you look at Street Fighter 2 Final Challengers with Capcom. Like, they're not like top tier AAA whatever, but like Nintendo was really positioning those games as like this is the featured game this month. Go buy it, and
Yes.
they did a really good job that first year of making sure they had something for everyone, right? I mean, they delayed Mario Odyssey also. They moved it off of the Wii U to put it on the Switch so they would have a big Mario game to sell that holiday, and it worked,
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? It had all the DLC. They put a battle mode in it that did wonders. Splatoon 2, like I know a lot of people just think it was more Splatoon 1, which I was one of those included, but nobody had a Wii U, so how are they going to know the difference, So
Yeah.
new IP with ARMS, sequel to Xenoblade Chronicles, which when Xenoblade Chronicles 1 came out, we never thought we were going to get a sequel, let alone, 3 of them and a awesome spin-off and you know what I mean? Like it just
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo was very smart with the Switch, and Um, I think the experience with the Switch alone is Nintendo did what they were good at, right? Everybody loves a Nintendo handheld console. It's a console you can plug into your TV. It has two controllers right off the bat. I mean, whether you use the Joy-Cons or not, that's what you use is what you use. But like in the box, it comes with two controllers, which companies weren't doing at the time. They put out smart experiences like Snipper Clips and Mario Kart that utilize those two Joy-Cons very well. ARMS, even 1-2 Switch to an extent, which I know people don't like that game. I also don't like that game.
I love that game.
But like, yeah, I mean, like I said at some point earlier this year, like every time my nephews come over, they want to play that game. They love it. They love that game. And I'm like, well, this is, sometimes I think we forget that there are normal people out there who just want to play games like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really hard to remember that sometimes. And I think the general gaming industry forgets that all the time. I mean, how many people? I know Elden Ring sold like 30 million units, but how many stories did you see come out, or how many anecdotes did you hear? Oh man, everybody says this game's really good, but it's so hard. Like, I know at least 4 people who bought Elden Ring based off the reviews, and they returned it or traded it in because it was too hard, because it wasn't. I think the people who review those games like the Souls games, and they're going to give it a good review because they like those games, and they're not thinking about the general consumer, right? Which is fine, but
they
I
have
think
enough knowledge of it.
yeah, and I think that's why reviews are so kind of antiquated, and like the way like video game websites are just like good luck starting one now. And I'm saying that realizing that bossrush.net exists, but like again, good luck starting one now and monetizing it and getting everything you want to get out of a website, because it's a terrible idea. It's just, like people are listening to YouTubers and people on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram, and they're watching their favorite streamers and their favorite influencers play games and talk about them, because that's the smarter way to do it. Growing a micro community and a community that's going to listen to you is a way smarter, more interesting way to get reviews out there. And you find like-minded people on the internet and find out what they have to say, and no offense, but when's the last time you actually read an IGN review? No, you scroll to the bottom, you see what number they gave it with the little bullet points, and you move on, right? That's why they post the reviews on Instagram and Facebook in those little square boxes with an excerpt from the review, right? Because they know nobody reads those reviews. That's why their reviews went from 5 pages to 500 words, 600 words, unless it's a major game. Like I'm sure God of War's review is pretty long, but like I saw their little square image on Instagram today, and I was like, oh, IGN gave it a 10. Here's the good points, and here's the one bad point they pointed out. Okay, cool. I'm cool. God of War is good. I don't need to read a 3,000 word review,
And I try to read a lot of IGN reviews and GameSpot, and like even listen to Digital Foundry, like get in their breakdown. I definitely, for a lot of Nintendo stuff, I go to Nintendo Live, and get their reviews, and nothing against content creators or anything like YouTubers or anything, or anyone on Twitch. I think I just need a little bit more from when I read the reviews and hear the reviews or hear about the game. I kind of want some things kind of a little bit broken down to me in a sense. And I guess that's how I grew up, reading my EGMs, reading my Game Informers and Game Pros magazines and stuff. Like, I got accustomed to that when it came to reviews for a game, because I want to go into a game ready to get this experience or this memorable experience from this game. But I want to make sure that when I go into it, the game is functional for me to go into it. And I think sometimes some content creators just do too much,
Yeah.
you know, instead of just focusing on what is important to do. Even when I do reviews, like I want to make sure that I focus on what really matters, the gameplay, um, some of the like the music. I'm going to focus on some of the negatives. I really don't focus on frame rates and stuff a lot, unless it's like really bad. Then that's when I have to address it and everything and stuff. But I
Yeah.
try to be balanced to tell people this is what you're going to get when you're getting this game.
Well, that's, I mean,
Elden
if
Ring.
you want to
Oh,
talk,
go ahead.
sorry, if you want to talk about an experience too, though, right? Like, I think these consoles have set our expectations too, right?
Hmm.
A lot of Nintendo games, or a lot of games that are ported to the Switch, I would say, run at like I would say like roughly 30 frames a second, right? And a lot of them, uh, a smooth 30 frames a second, I think is adequate. But, and here's the big but,
What?
you look at like when you have Xbox Series X out there and a PlayStation 5 out there that's toting that these games like God of War, there's a mode on there where you can run it at 120 frames a second if your TV can handle it. And it's like, well, that's awesome. But then you look right next to it and there's Gotham Knights who's saying that this can only run at 30 frames a second because we can't make it run any quick faster. And it's like I think you just have to go in with these expectations that
Hmm.
I don't know. But in terms of like what Nintendo does, like a lot of Nintendo games run at 60 frames a second just fine. Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey, um, Splatoon, Arms. A lot of these games run it really nicely, and I know they're like kind of not worried about 4K or whatever, right? And that's kind of like the big thing too, is like they don't have to have higher resolutions or better textures because they're Nintendo games, right? Like they don't need them. Um, Not to say that their games are ugly or anything. I'm just saying, like,
They have
the
their
max they can get
artistry.
to, yeah, the max they can get to is 1080p anyway. And then the handheld is 720. So like you're looking at the texture density in a 1080p block instead of a 4K block, and it's like, well, of course this looks nicer. Uh, but then like they can use that power that they don't need for 4K. They can use that to increase frame rates or boost certain aspects of the games. And also
Hmm.
Nintendo's like the master of asset reuse and compression and stuff too, right? So like a game that you would see on Xbox or PlayStation that's like 100 gigs, right? I mean, you look at Breath of the Wild, it's what, 13 gigs?
And it's
Hmm.
still flawless.
So, I mean, there's a frame rate hiccup here or there, right? But like again, that game is an anomaly because it's split across two consoles. They had what, 7 or 8 months to port it. Uh,
Yeah.
and then it was optimized later in stability patches and stuff. But like, the new one, Digital Foundry says it's running at 60 frames a second. The Tears of the Kingdom is running at 60 frames. It's like, how is a game that large on Switch gonna run at 1080p 60 frames a second? That's unbelievable. So
It, and like I said, I think Monolith Soft. I feel like Monolith Soft really learned the Switch. you know, just seeing Xenoblade Chronicles and stuff, and them doing a big world like Breath of the Wild. I think what they learned and what they're able to work out and fix, because now they got a better understanding of the system, what they could pull off. That's what's gonna make Tears of the Kingdom maybe another 10 or 9.5. Like, we don't know till the game comes out. So,
yeah,
um, and I think I think Nintendo themselves, when you was mentioned, Corey, about like the frame rate in the 1080p, and reason I said the artistry is because, you know, Nintendo. is able to dig into different art styles to bring a game out that people could remember, or people, because I'm like, who's who as a first party is was doing yarn and stuff.
Yeah.
I know there was Sony doing Little Big Planet, but I'm like, you know, Kirby's Epic Yarn, and then you got Yoshi's Woody World, to the point where you're just like, they did a presentation for, I think, Yoshi's Crafted World, with like in a yarn shop. And it's just like everybody wanted.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so I think it's just, I think experiences in games just come from different places. Like, you can make it personal, but I think with Nintendo, they just, they go beyond experience, and they go beyond a game. They
Yeah.
just want to make something fun and memorable for it.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, I think the term game versus experience is just stupid. First of all, I think what you're looking for in a game differs per person, right?
Hmm.
I mean, just judging by all of us, like, we all prefer different experiences, or all have different experiences with games, or prefer different games, and our knowledge of games is, ranges, you know, across the spectrum, right? It's just like, just play what you love, and have the fun that you want to have. Nobody's ever going to love everything,
No.
that
Right.
nobody's going to be able to play everything. Nobody's going to love everything.
Yeah,
No
no
one's
matter how
gonna,
hard you want them to,
yeah,
no one's gonna.
it's just dumb. I I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a controversial statement, but I think the gaming industry is just dumb. I don't like the attitude where everybody has to like this specific thing, and if you don't like it, you're exiled from liking games ever again.
Yeah.
I mean, I bring it up all the time. There are two games that people absolutely love, and I just don't like. One of them's BioShock, and one of them's The Last of Us. I don't like those games. I just don't. And I understand that somebody else might like them, but that's not, you don't get to tell me which games I get to like and don't like, and
Right.
it's not anything personal. It's just, you know, like, everybody loved God of War 4, and I was like, it's good. I wouldn't put it as like top tier Sony, but it's good, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna. I don't. Because like I really love the original God of War games. Like, that original trilogy is just really special, and the Ready at Dawn games on the PSP were great. Um, I
Those are
even
the ones I really want to play.
I even really liked Ascension, to be honest with you. It felt like more God of War 3, and I didn't really like. Okay, everybody was making fun of the multiplayer aspect of it. Okay, well, every game was shoving multiplayer into that, at the time.
Yeah.
So, like,
Right.
if you don't like the multiplayer, don't play it. I never really understood why that game got a lot of hate, except for, like, it wasn't as bombastic as the previous games, but it was a prequel while they were, switching projects and training new teams and everything. Like,
Yeah.
now I just feel like I'm rambling because, yeah,
I feel like if you're authentic about it and not trying to like make money behind something that you like, then you'll
Mm.
be okay. Like it'll actually be genuine and you're like, oh, okay, like that person likes it.
hmm
They're talking about it like this. They're making gameplays like this. Like they actually enjoy this. But whenever they go off and go, oh, there's a link, this is an ad, you should check it out. It's like,
yeah,
but do you really like it or are you getting paid to like it?
yeah. It's just it's gross, and that's why, like, I what here, like, I don't discourage anybody from, like, reaching out to get a code for, like, a review or anything, but, like, my stance is, like, I'm not gonna do that because I want people to think that my opinion is genuine, and
Yeah.
and
I think one game's okay, but if it's like the last 5 games you played, oh, here's a link, here's a link, here's a link, then okay, like something's up. You can't, have all 5 of these games that you like.
yeah,
Something's fishy.
yeah, and I get like I get the appeal, and I get like, okay, yeah, if you're like a top tier streamer and you're getting these games for free and you're getting paid to show them off, that's fine. But like, I don't know, I don't want to do that. And like if I was to start all this over again, minus the hundreds of changes I would make in the long run, I would stress like staying away from that stuff, because there's no way that isn't influencing your decision on a review, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
So, I know that's my opinion, and I know that's that's a pretty wild one, but
I think that's why it's important to, when a new game comes out, that you go support it by buying the game. You know, if you are a content creator who wants to do stuff like that, get free codes and everything, make sure you're in the position of informing. Because right now, that's your job. Once you take their game, sign the NDA, and all of that stuff, you are there to inform. Yes, you are going to promote and stuff, but you have to inform your viewers and everything. Because what's going to happen is that if they pick up the game because you're their favorite streamer and it's questionable content, they're going to look at you, because you are the person that, yeah, you didn't say go out and buy it and stuff, but they got the information from you. So along with them being mad at the developer and publisher, they're going to be mad at that content creator, and that can affect your viewership and everything if you are not there to inform and stuff. And then of course you can't say bad things and stuff because you're being paid, but you need, if you're going to get these codes, you need to make sure that you say to the person who's giving to you, hey, I want to give my honest opinion about this. So if your product is not up to snuff, I want to be able to say that, because I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, stop your hustle, stop your business or anything, but I want to make sure that if I'm going to do this, that it comes from honesty and not from a greedy marketing thing, because
Right.
you're going to affect my business or my viewership and everything, and that could have a lasting effect in you as a company just giving out a code and stuff.
Yeah. And then like, you have these companies like blackmailing you if you say that their game is bad, like that, then that makes you a worse creator, because you're blackmailed by these companies and it's going to get around or whatever. And it's like, just, I don't know, man. Maybe that's a terrible business decision and I get it, but also I know quite a few people on like Patreon and these services that like they don't do that, and guess what, they're the biggest Patreons they're the biggest gaming Patreons, and I like to think that them kind of taking the high road on that is just
Oh, did you?
Guess what?
Right, you just trailed off. Corey.
Sorry, I got a text message from my cousin.
Oh,
Okay.
So
extra
anyways.
rooms.
What?
Extra rooms
Extra rooms
for your trip.
Oh no, she's in our room. She's staying with us, but we're just kind of talking logistical stuff, 'cause 5 people in one room is going to be a lot, but it's fine. 2 of them are children, small children.
Even worse.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Corey, you already know I just need the food pics and some of the family pics.
No, it's mostly going to be food. I'm excited for Mickey Waffles and the breakfast and the spicy chicken waffle sandwich I'm eating on the first day.
Ooh, did you send me a picture of that one?
I haven't. I've never had it yet, so no.
Oh,
So the first day we're actually just getting a pizza because that's all that's going to be available. But the first real day, breakfast, I'm getting the breakfast scramble with the potatoes and the sausage and bacon and scrambled eggs and 2 Mickey waffles and a banana because you got to be healthy. And then for lunch, I'm having the spicy chicken waffle sandwich, which is literally just a big Belgian waffle with 2 huge spicy breaded chicken breasts in the middle with some spicy coleslaw. Oh man, I'm gonna have such bad poops or constipated, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either way, it's gonna be bad.
Wonderful.
And then for dinner that night, either we have like, I don't know, man, because Casey's Corner's there too, and I can get one of them big, huge chili dogs with some tots.
yes.
The tachos. So okay,
Hold
so
on, wait.
what?
The what? The
Tachos.
what?
Tachos.
Oh, please go ahead. Explain.
I thought it was a
need to know
tot
all
show.
of this.
So tachos are they're new this year, and so it's imagine like loaded nachos, but instead of nachos, they're tater tots with like southwestern wontons on top. So it's tater tots with nacho cheese, chili, shredded cheese, sour cream, bacon bits, chives, and crispy eats on top.
So a side of constipation is what that sounds like.
Yep.
Corey,
What?
I need pictures before you dig in.
That might be a third or fourth day thing because I can't have all that in one day. I will die.
I know, but
I'm gonna have to throw a
But
salad
make sure
in there
that
at
you
some
put-
point. some sort of green plant-based something.
something healthy.
Some celery sticks, just
Yeah.
something on the side.
Or I could just say screw it and get one of the big, huge cinnamon rolls from Gaston's Tavern with
Ooh.
extra icing.
And just get a green smoothie so that you have something green in you.
Yeah. There will be something green in me, but it's not going to be a smoothie. It's gonna be-
I know. Our listeners are just like, "Oh, what the world?"
I know.
Okay.
I know. Get me out of here.
Uh,
I'm going to cry.
but everybody, that's gonna be it for Nintendo Expansion Pass. I kind of want to hear from you guys. Do you guys prefer experiences, or do you just love just playing games? Or do both matter to you? We would love to know all of that. You can hit us up on Twitter at PodBlock Podcast. And also hit us up on the Discord. And let us know. We want to chat up with you guys and see what do you prefer about your games. Do you like your Nintendo games or any game being an experience, or do you just find them as games?
Mm-hmm.
But Courtney, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch and TikTok and Twitter, all the T's. It's Courty_Yikes.
Corey,
fine.
where can we find? Yes, Corey.
No,
Where can we find you?
you can't.
Yeah.
No. You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on the Boss Rush podcast and various other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
Yes. You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode and on Instagram at ThatRetroCode. You can check more of our content at for Nintendo Power Black on our YouTube page. And also check us out on our Discord, Nintendo Power Block and Nintendo Expansion Pass. If you are a Patreon supporter, you do get some of these episodes early, like Talk the Walk After Dark and Nintendo Expansion Pass and more. And I don't know where else to go with this. It feels so. I don't know. Today has been a 13-hour work day.
It's also midnight. So
Yes.
but everybody, Have a great week. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time on Nintendo Expansion Pass. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Meow.